Well, we have a family mission statement that spells out less, and it's love, explore, study, and share. And that's what we want to do. We want to love on people around the world. We want to explore the world around us, the history and the culture, and then we want to study that significantly. We spend time intentionally studying things wherever we go, and then whatever we discover about this world, we love to share it with our community to really emphasize how amazing our global community is.
Eric and I met in 2002 at the church where I grew up, and he was stationed in the United States Coast Guard, and so travel was a huge part of your career.
Right.
Eric's been all over the globe. He's been to Antarctica 2 times. He's lived in very small spaces without a lot of, luxuries.
Right.
That's what you're used to. And my family's from Canada. And so my parents immigrated to Texas when I was very young. And for us, a family vacation was driving from the Gulf of Mexico to the Northwest Territories. So I didn't know it, but I was overlanding on family vacation.
Right.
And so when Eric said, do you want to start traveling full time? It wasn't super weird to me. And I like the minimalism. I love having everything that I care about within arm's reach. That's almost a comforting thing for me. So I love the style of travel.
February 21st, 2014, we locked the front door to our little tiny 2-bedroom apartment for the last time.
Well, you say little tiny.
But it was big compared to what we live in now. But,
yeah.
But we locked it for the last time, and we headed out on the road, and we've not owned any home or property since, and we have zero regrets. It's been the most incredible journey, and we're just getting started. Time is the most precious asset that we have. It's more important than money. It's more important than stuff. Once you spend a moment of your time, you never get it back.
Right.
And so we want to take our time and spend it wisely. And I can't think of anything greater than visiting this entire world in which we have been given to share and explore it. So
you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Yeah. And we used to think that we needed to earn a certain income for this quality of life.
Standard of living.
The standard of living that we thought was going to fulfill us and make us happy and allow us to take care of our family. And every year we realized we don't need that much money. Instead, we want more time with each other. We don't want to be spending our time working to earn that money. We'd rather get away with less.
We had connected with this Jeep group in San Luis Potosí, Mexico. They drove us out. We went out with them and 2 other vehicles to what was essentially a dilapidated basketball court with 1 hoop that was broken. And I couldn't even see any houses really to speak of. And then before you knew it, there was like 30 people that seemingly came out of nowhere onto this basketball court, and they were pushing the village elder in a wheelchair, and the whole village came out. And we were able to have community with them and provide them just with a few things that would be helpful to them.
We played some games with the kids.
We played games with the kids. But then the most humbling thing happened. They invited us into their homes to share what little they had, and they wanted to make us tamales and empanadas. And
it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so humbling that people with so little by U.S. standards would just give everything so generously. And that's the kind of ethos that we want to get into our blood and into our son's blood. When I became pregnant in 2016, we were already traveling full time, and pretty much everyone we knew just assumed that we were going to stop traveling.
Yeah.
But that thought never entered our mind. For us, it was natural to continue our travels with a newborn baby, and we're so glad that we did. Children don't need all the stuff that are marketed to new parents. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary for their growth and development or their happiness. Caspian is just as happy out here with rocks and sticks and hiking trails.
Remember when he was in the river at Prescott, Arizona?
Yeah.
He was pretending he was a beaver and building his own little dam with all this natural wood. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You have to remember that they're little people. They're little people with their own thoughts, their own desires, their own mindset. He wants to go on hikes, or he wants to go play in the river, or he wants to do these things. But we involve him and we ask him. I think that is critical to making overlanding with children successful, is involving them and getting their thoughts.
Yeah.
I like to walk around and explore to see if I can notice like cool berries, plants that I haven't seen. Sometimes
I think that's really good for older children as well as empowering them in the travel planning process, especially if they're new to overlanding. How can they get invested in it so that they're not just being drugged along the whole trip, but they want to go too?
And speaking of which, I think our son is calling you. Hand here, because if you miss, you're going to hit your hand. You see that? So once it started, you take your hands away from here.
and then you just keep banging.
Yep.
We were together, didn't we?
High five.
That was for sure called teamwork, right?
Teamwork.
Treading lightly is extremely important to us to come, enjoy the beauty around us, but leave no trace and leave it better than when we found it. And we've learned a lot over our years of overlanding that just in our ignorance, we didn't know.
We used to, like you said, it's not malicious. We used to do things that we thought were good to do because we had built a community of people who were friends or people that we had met that were following us online. And we'd find this great campsite and we'd be like, look, here are the coordinates, go check it out. It's amazing.
We thought we were doing them a favor.
Yeah, we thought we were helping them out. And now, of course, we'll share one-on-one, but we don't share publicly. And so it's little things like that where you're not trying to be malicious, but you don't realize the impact you're having. And it's really about saving it for future generations.
Yeah.
And we're obviously very invested in that.